Alright, so hot on the news of the Xbox Series S that I covered yesterday in this video right here. If you want to get caught up in the news and I offer some opinions of it, you can check out this video. We actually have another bit of a wrinkle in the console war. I was actually expecting something from Sony, but this little tidbit comes from our good friends over at Nintendo. So Bloomberg News has reported that Nintendo is planning to ramp up its production of Nintendo Switches by 20% for this holiday season. So Nintendo Switch has been selling like hotcakes. Good games such as Animal Crossing really pushed it, but as well, funny enough, the pandemic actually pushed sales through the roof. It was really difficult for a while to find a retail Nintendo Switch. Most people were just buying them up and selling them as third-party sellers for inflated prices. Things have stabilized a little bit now. Most people can find one in stores. But another interesting tidbit that Bloomberg reported is that Nintendo has actually contacted its third-party developers who are porting games to the Switch and are asking them to make their games 4K capable ready. So as we know, the Nintendo Switch is tech-wise the weakest console this console generation amongst the big three in terms of hardware. The system does not in any way function to provide 4K video. So that leads most people to believe that we're going to be getting an upgrade to the Nintendo Switch at some point. So most people have estimated that's going to happen at the end of March next year, March 21, which is an oddly specific date for some reason. There's probably someone who knows something that we don't know, but it makes perfect sense because Nintendo does not want to jump in the gauntlet this holiday season because obviously we have the release of both versions of the Xbox, the X and S version, as well as the PlayStation 5. So there are only so many dollars that can go around and consumers can spend on video games. Doesn't make sense financially, doesn't make sense from a PR or marketing point of view. Just move out of the way. Go to early next year where you can kind of just dominate those first couple of news cycles by yourself. So that's what most people are expecting. In terms of what I think a 4K capable console is something that I'm really interested in. I do not play most Nintendo Switch games mobile or in handheld mode. I play them on my TV, and I assume most likely the game will not output 4K in handheld mode because that doesn't make any sense at all because the screen is so small. It would absolutely crush the battery life. The battery life on the Nintendo Switch in handheld mode isn't great already. So if you tried to run 4K on it with 4K hardware, the thing would like die in 3 minutes. So most likely it probably will just output 4K to a TV, which I am all about. That means they have to put better hardware in. That just means that the games are going to run better. And the most exciting thing that I'm looking forward to is the sequel to Breath of the Wild. So Breath of the Wild is one of the best games that came out this generation, but the main issues that I had with it is that the frame rate was a little bit inconsistent and stuttered at some point. So if you can run that game, its sequel at 4K at a crisp, consistent frame rate, I am just take my money, just take all the money, and Nintendo will continue to have their own unique niche on the market. So that's the news. A 4K capable Nintendo Switch upgrade is most likely going to be coming out early next year. Save your money, start saving, and hopefully we can get some great games for it as well. So that's it for me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will keep perusing Twitter at odd times. And it's worked for me a couple times now. We're getting some really good tidbits of console generation and this war that's going on to basically vie for your gaming dollars. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, have a fantastic day.